This may be the last message for this channel, or at least for a very long time. I started this channel by basically asking two simple questions. The first question I asked is, what is Buddhism? The next question is, what is Zen? Let's tackle the first question. Now, the answer I'm going to give is not one that's going to be popular. It's not one that many people will accept, and it's one that is considered controversial. So when we look at Buddhism and the development of Buddhism as into where it is supposedly to have come from, and the history of Buddhism traveling supposedly from northern India, then throughout the Far East, it seems to ignore the fact of the Silk Road, that's the trade routes that were both by land and sea, that were coming down from the Mediterranean. Now, I've talked to a lot of historians about this, and there does seem to be this entire wanting to ignore the Silk Road and the fact that it not only by land by sea, and that it was going on well before 2,500 years ago. So we're talking, um, 500 BC, 800 BC. So we already have established that there is already a significant amount of Greek and then later Roman influence that is being exerted down into the lower continent. And this is probably goes all the way into the third and fourth century AD. So, what is Buddhism? And the best thing that I can say is that Buddhism truly, really becomes mid-Platonism that is moving through Vedic culture. Now, like I said, many people will be upset with that answer. Many people will be, angry at me for saying that. That is what I can determine to be the true origin of Buddhism. For when you look at the writings of Plotinus, which is one of the greatest minds of the Greek philosophy, you really see a lot of Buddhism within his teachings. And in fact, there's a whole book called Greek Buddha that kind of goes through this. Now, also other lines of thought that were coming down from the Mediterranean were pushing into the southern part of Asia, and this also includes Manichaeanism, Zoroastrianism. Later, we get into a little bit of Hebrew, and then we get into Christianity that were coming on down. Manichaeanism made it all the way into China and is a major influencer within many of the Chinese religions. Zoroastrianism is definitely a key influencer. But then again, we go back to the Greek philosophies and we can see how there is an echo of the Greek philosophy within the teachings of the Buddha Sutras. There are many people that claim that Buddhism arose out of the Vedics and want to have it exactly the other way. This does not really make sense because nothing in the Vedics really echoes what we hear in the Buddhist sutras, but it does make sense when you look at it through the other way, which is mid-Platonism, which would be early Plato, early Plotinus, moving through Vedic culture, and a lot of Vedic culture adopting and reforming itself into these particular thought lines. So Buddhism also develops upon these lines, and the idea of the Buddha, the awakened one, which is awakened to one's own true nature, to the reality of oneself, becomes not only an important um, philosophical awakening, but then it is deemed a spiritual awakening. And thus one is seeing the universe for what it truly is. Now, this is quite different than Western enlightenment or Western thought of spirituality, in where one believes in a transmigration of a soul. In other words, one will be transported from this earthly world to some other world or to some heavenly kingdom um, as a reward for one's obedience and faith. Now, the second part of my question is, what is Zen? And this is a very interesting question because now again we go back to the Greek Buddha and the whole importing of Greek philosophies and Greek culture upon the northern India and through the Silk Road, again both by land and sea. And we start to find that Zen is really just Stoicism. Now, it's not the Stoicism that we think today of the staunch, emotionally unemotional um, people, but rather it is a more view of being part of nature, a view of it is what it is. And suddenly we are looking at Bodhidharma. We are looking at a lot of early Zen, which can almost be identical to early Stoicism. And this is something that is quite distinctive when one comes to take a look and understands that Zen is really nothing more than Stoicism moving eastward. Now, Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, I would call them as late Stoics, um, do have a Zen aspect to a lot of what they are saying, though it is more defined within a particular way of encapsulating what they are saying. And then the Chinese take the Stoicism and further refine it into the recorded sayings of the Zen masters, and then later into the various books and tombs and the koans that we within the Zen community are well versed in. So this has been my journey through this very particular question and also on the path of Zen to bring you some answers as to where does it come from and how did it get to you? Because clearly nothing just springs up from a hole in the ground and there it is. It comes from somewhere, and you only have to look to see where it comes from. Now, certainly, there's been a lot of religiosity. There's been a lot of adapting and including local religions and previous religions into both Zen and Buddhism. Buddhism is well known to take on and assimilate native deities and gods. Thus, one can have Bodhisattva Jesus and still be called a Buddhist. One can have the Bodhisattva Virgin Mary, Mother of Compassion, and it can still be called a Buddhist. And we also find that Zen doesn't necessarily mean that one has to be of any particular culture or practice or cultural format. Zen tends to be more of a state of mind. It is a state of awareness of the natural state of all things. Thus, we call call that the Zen mind, but if you really look at it, is this just also called intuition, which is a knowing without thinking, or as D.T. Suzuki would say, no think. Now, I know a lot of people put a lot of time into the study of Zen, like they put time into the study of Kendo or karate, and they view it as a martial art. And this, what I'm saying, greatly upsets them because they want something special. They want something unique and different. They don't want something that was already there. They want to feel that it is apart from the Western culture. And there's also this issue called the sunk cost fallacy, in where a lot of people put a lot of time and money with Zen centers and Zen masters, and then to be told that it's nothing more than mid-Platonism and Stoicism doesn't sit well with them because the sunk cost issue comes right up, and you're basically telling them they wasted their time. Well, at least that's how they hear it, and that these Japanese or whatever mannerisms that they are adopting are meaningless. They won't do anything. One can certainly live a tranquil, peaceful lifestyle, and many Stoics do live that. They live in a way in where they are in respect to nature. And that is admirable if you can do that, and something that a lot of people feel at peace at doing. But it doesn't necessarily mean one has to live within a foreign cultural context to achieve it. One could easily live a Zen lifestyle in the American culture in the American way. Thus, just don't complain about things, as the old Stoics would say, and everything tends to be a lot better. Anyway, this is why I said this may be the last video of this channel. Um, I really have nothing else to say about Buddhism and Zen other than this final note and thought. You don't have to go find Zen masters or Buddhist masters to learn this from. There's no deep mysteries or magics that are out there that will change anything or that will alter reality. There's no deities or gods that you can summon or even give or even care about you. And there it is. When you kind of realize that, you kind of realize you've already were in the heart of Buddhism, the heart of Zen the whole time. You just need to stop complaining about this idea that you thought you weren't. Now, as for myself, um, I am currently back in Las Vegas and off on new adventures and different things. If I have any further insights into Buddhism or Zen, I am certainly going to share it with you on this channel. So definitely keep this channel in your subscribe list. And if you see something pop up in the future, take a listen to it. It might be of interest to you. Till then, my friends, take care.